Hello students, welcome to the lecture on training and development, and after the lecture we will be able to learn the following objectives. Explain the meaning of training, describe the importance of training and its need, explain the objectives of training, describe the evaluation of training, discuss about the methods of training, explain the training process, describe the concept of management development, discuss about the methods of management development, explain the evaluation of management development program. Let's start with a brief introduction to training and development. Training and development play an important role in the effectiveness of organizations and to the experiences of people in work. Training has implications for productivity, health and safety at work and personal development. Training and development are required for staff to enable them work towards taking the organization to its expected destination. It is against the backdrop of the relative importance of staff training and development in relation to organization effectiveness that this paper addresses. Now let's discuss the meaning of training. Training is a systematic development of the knowledge, skills and attitudes that is required by employees to perform adequately on a given task or job. It can take place in a number of ways, on the job or off the job, in the organization or outside the organization. The effectiveness and the success of an organization therefore lies on the people who form and work within the organization. The functions of training are identified as follows: increase productivity, improves the quality of work, improves skills, knowledge, understanding and attitude, enhance the use of tools and machines, reduces waste, accidents, turnover, lateness, absenteeism and other overhead costs, eliminates obsolescence in skills, technologies, methods, products, capital management, etc. The objectives of training are to provide the skills, knowledge and aptitudes as necessary to undertake the required job efficiently, develop the workers so that if he has the potentials, he may progress, increase efficiency by reducing the spoilt work, misuse of machines and lessening physical risk. The importance of training. Training is crucial for organizational development and success. It is fruitful to both employers and employees of an organization. An employee will become more efficient and productive if he is trained well. Training is given on the basic reason new candidates who join an organization are given training. This training familiarizes them with the organizational mission, vision, rules and regulations and the working conditions. The existing employees are trained to refresh and enhance their knowledge. If any updates and amendments take place in technology, training is given to cope up with those changes. For instance, purchasing new equipment, changes in technique of production, computer implement. The employees are trained about use of new equipments and work methods. When promotion and career growth becomes important, training is given so that employees are prepared to share the responsibilities of the higher level job. The benefits of training can be summed up as it improves morale of the employees. Training helps the employee to get job security and job satisfaction. The more satisfied the employee is and the greater is his morale, the more he will contribute to organizational success and the lesser will be employee absenteeism and turnover. Less supervision. A well-trained employee will be well acquainted with the job and will need less of supervision. Thus, there will be less wastage of time and efforts. Fewer accidents, errors are likely to occur if the employees lack knowledge and skills required for doing a particular job. The more trained an employee is, the less are the chances of committing accidents in job and the more proficient the employee becomes. The chances of promotion. Employees acquire skills and efficiency during training. They become more eligible for promotion. They become an asset for the organization. Increased productivity. Training improves efficiency and productivity of employees. Well-trained employees show both quantity and quality performance. There is less wastage of time, money and resources if employees are properly trained. Now let's talk about the need of training. Job requirement. In order to perform job in a better way, an employee needs certain skill set. Therefore, in order to impart such skill set to an employee, training is needed. Technological changes, automation and mechanization in offices and service sector. Fast changing technology requires new technology training, example computerization in public sector. To reap benefits of latest technology, organizational viability. Globalization and liberalization. Training enables an employee to adapt with continually changing environment. It also helps business firms in expansion, their growth and copes with diversification. Training enhances capabilities of employees to face international competition. Refresher training is given to existing employees to keep them abreast of knowledge. It prevents obsolescence of skills. Second line of command to meet future needs. Internal mobility. Training is also needed in case of internal movement of employees from one unit to the other or from one department to the other. When the employees are promoted or transferred from one place to another or from one job to the other, then training is given to them. The objectives of training. Employees will definitely learn best when objectives of the training program were clearly stated to them. Objective means the purpose and the expected outcome of the training activities. To impart basic knowledge and skill to new entrants required for intelligent performance of the definite task in order to induct them without much loss of time. To assist employees to function more effectively by exposure of latest concepts, information and techniques and development of skills required in specific fields including production, purchase, marketing, logistic, information technology, etc. To broaden the minds of the supervisors. Sometimes narrowness of outlook may arise in supervisors because of specialization. In order to correct this narrowness, they are provided with opportunities and interchange of experience. To build second line of competent employees and enable them to occupy more responsible positions as situations emerge. To prepare employees to undertake different jobs in order to enable redeployment and maintain flexibility in workforce so that ever-changing environment of market can be met and downturns can be managed without losing experienced employees. To provide employees job satisfaction, training enables an employee to use their skill, knowledge and ability to the fullest extent and thus experience job satisfaction and gain monetary benefits from enhanced productivity. To improve the knowledge, skills, efficiency of employees to obtain maximum individual development. To fulfill the goals of organization by securing the optimum cooperation and the contribution from the employees. Now let's move on to the next topic, which is evaluation of training. Evaluation of training is a systematic process of collecting, processing, analyzing and interpreting data related to training and its effects on service delivery. Evaluation of training helps to determine if training has achieved its objectives, identify any aspects of training that need to be improved, identify the contributions made by training in strengthening the service delivery and the increased availability, accessibility and the quality of services, identify any aspects of the training intervention that need to be improved. The results of training evaluation can be used as an input to inform and strengthen the RH and FP program. Levels of evaluation of training. Evaluation of training takes place at two stages, during the training and after the training. During the training, evaluation consists of two levels of assessment. The participants or the trainees' reaction to the conduct of training, the learning that took place as a result of the training. After the training, evaluation also consists of two levels of assessment, whether the participants or the trainees have been able to apply the knowledge, skills and the attitudes that they have acquired during the training at their work sites, or whether the training made an impact on the larger service delivery outcomes. The methods of training. Training is generally imparted in two ways. On-the-job training methods are those which are given to the employees within the everyday working of a concern. It is a simple and cost-effective training method in proficient as well as semi-proficient employees can do well trained by using such training method. The employees are trained in actual working scenario. Off-the-job training. The off-the-job training methods are those in which training is provided away from the actual working condition. It is generally used in case of new employees. Instances of off-the-job training methods are workshops, seminars, conferences, etc. Such method is costly and is effective if and only if large number of employees have to be trained within a short period of time. Now let's explore employee remuneration. Employee remuneration refers to the reward or the compensation given to the employees for their work performances. Remuneration provides basic attraction to an employee to perform job efficiently and effectively. There are mainly two types of employee remuneration, time rate method and piece rate method. Time rate method. Under time rate system, remuneration is directly linked with the time spent or devoted by an employee on the job, monthly irrespective of the output. Piece rate method. It is a method of compensation in which remuneration is paid on the basis of the units or the pieces produced by an employee. The training process. If you have ever thought about developing a training program within the organization, consider the following 4 basic training steps. We will find that all 4 of these steps are mutually necessary for any training program to be effective and efficient. These are: Step 1, establishing a needs analysis. This step identifies activities to justify an investment for training. The techniques necessary for the data collection are surveys, observations, interviews, and customer comment cards. The objectives in establishing needs analysis is to find out the answers to the following questions: why is training needed? What type of training is needed? When is the training needed? Where is the training needed? Who needs the training, and who will conduct the training? How will the training be performed? Now, step 2 is developing training programs and manuals. This step establishes the development of current job descriptions and standards and procedures. Job description should be clear and concise and may serve as a major training tool for the identification of guidelines. Step 3 is to deliver the training program. This step is responsible for the instruction and delivery of the training program. Once one has designated trainers, the training technique must be decided. One-on-one training, on-the-job training, group training, seminars, workshops are the most popular options. Step 4 is to evaluate the training program. This step will determine how effective and profitable training program has been. Now, the methods for evaluation are pre- and post-surveys of customer comments, comment cards, the establishment of a cost-benefit analysis outlining expenses and returns, and an increase in customer satisfaction and profits.
Welcome to the presentation on employee training process. The first step in the training process for any organization is to assess the objectives of the training program and then devise a strategy or method to administer the same. Objectives are the end results which the organization wants to achieve within a given time frame. Objectives should be realistic and measurable. They should help in guiding and motivating the employees to accomplish their mission. You need a strategy for defining the method adopted by the organization to meet the objectives. Strategies are used as a roadmap for accomplishing organizational objectives. Why do you need to assess training needs? Assessments are needed to identify the performance gap between what is actually needed and what is the current level of performance among the employees. By assessing training needs, one can understand what the organization expects from the employees and to what extent the employees meet those requirements. If there is a mismatch between what the organizations expect from their employees and what is actually delivered by them, it means there is a learning gap. Training assessments help to identify this learning gap. Based on the learning gaps found, organizations can define the learning objectives and plan a training program to bridge the learning gap. Let us examine how establishing the goals before training is very important. A training program should have well-defined goals stating clearly the benefits of the program. Goals and objectives together define the major component of training initiatives. Goals must be stated in advance for achieving learning objectives that can be measurable in concrete terms. Thus, training goals determine the overall direction of the training program so that the learner and the trainer both get a clear description of the learning outcomes which they expect. Let's look at the factors you need to consider while designing a training program. Before starting the training program, the trainer should have relevant information about the participants and their profile so that he can devise a method that best suits their requirements, keeping in mind the training objectives. Once the training objectives have been decided, the trainer can start preparing the training content based on those specific training areas that need development. Before designing a training program, the trainer should analyze all the raw materials for instruction, organize the information in a coherent and comprehensible manner, and put it into a framework. Once you have the necessary information, you need to decide on the medium of instruction. It could be through PowerPoint presentations, classroom training, or online training. Before delivering the training program, you need to test it for its effectiveness in terms of meeting organizational goals. Implementation of the training program involves putting the training plan into action. the trainer needs to prepare the learning environment before the start of the training session. The trainer should create an environment which is comfortable for the employees so that they can freely ask questions and clarify their doubts without any hesitation. Therefore, the trainer needs to do the following. It is important that the trainer is comfortable and confident with the content of the training so that he or she can clarify all the doubts of the employees and make them feel satisfied with the training. The training session should not be scheduled beyond regular working hours. To avoid employees being distracted, the trainer should try to make the training session very interesting by showing demonstrations and encouraging employees to participate in the session. The trainer should use appropriate methodologies such as role plays, quizzes, and interactive games to keep participants involved and engaged in the training. The trainer should use simple methods to evaluate employees' performance on a regular basis. The purpose of training evaluation is to determine whether the goals and objectives of training have been achieved. This can be done at the end of the training session. The methods of evaluating a training program includes the following. Feedback from participants who have attended the training session through questionnaires or feedback forms. Supervisors can be contacted after a reasonable period of time to understand the extent to which the participants are applying the skills and knowledge gained from the training program in their jobs. Thus, training and development are major factors for long-term growth and profitability of any organization.
The concept of management development. Management development is a term that describes any number of activities that reflect a planned effort to enhance employees' abilities in various individual and team management techniques. Management development is best described as a process from which managers learn and improve their skills, not only to benefit themselves but also their employing organizations. In organizational development, OD, the effectiveness of management is recognized as one of the detriments of organizational success. The advantages of development: making them self-starters, committed, motivated, result-oriented, sensitive to the environment, understand the use of power. Creating self-awareness, develop inspiring leadership styles, install zest for excellence, teach them about effective communication, to subordinate their functional loyalties to the interest of the organization. Now let's discuss the methods of management development. Basically, management development is a term that describes any number of activities that reflect a planned effort to enhance employees' ability in various individual and team management techniques. Very simply put, management development includes development of skills such as planning, organizing, leading, and developing resources. Management development method is divided into two parts: on-the-job training, OJT. The most frequently used method in smaller organizations, that is on-the-job training. This method of training uses more knowledgeable, experienced and skilled employees such as managers, supervisors to give training to less knowledgeable, skilled and experienced employees. Coaching. Coaching is one of the training methods which is considered as a corrective method for inadequate performance. According to a new survey conducted by International Coach Federation (ICF), more than 4,000 companies are using coach for their executives. Mentoring. Mentoring is an ongoing relationship that is developed between a senior and a junior employee. Mentoring provides guidance and clear understanding of how the organization goes to achieve its vision and mission to the junior employee. Job rotation. For the executive, job rotation takes on different perspectives. The executive is usually not simply going to another department in some vertically integrated organizations. Job instruction technique, JIT. Job instruction technique, JIT, uses a strategy with focus on knowledge, factual and procedural skills and attitudes development. Off-the-job training. There are many management development techniques that an employee can take in off the job. The few popular methods are: sensitivity training is about making people understand about themselves and others reasonably, which is done by developing in them social sensitivity and behavioral flexibility. Social sensitivity, in one word, is empathy. It is the ability of an individual to sense what others feel and think from their own point of view. Behavioral flexibility is ability to behave suitably in light of understanding. The importance of management development. The importance of management can be stated as: it facilitates optimum utilization of resources, it motivates personnel, it encourages initiative, it facilitates innovation, It furthers technological improvements, it minimizes the wastages, maintains good relations, facilitates expansion and diversification, the quality of workers' life, assists a society. The evaluation of management development program. There are a number of steps to take in the establishment of a management development training program. Assess where one is currently. Does one have a formalized training program for new managers? Does one have a program designed to develop the existing managerial staff? Analyze the workforce and project management needs into the future. Succession planning is an important part of management development and a key to ensuring strong leadership. Determine the existing skill level through standardized testing instruments. Questionnaires ask managers to identify their own information gaps and needs, peer and supervisor evaluation, or even vendor and customer evaluation. Align management development training with organization's strategic plan. Develop individual development plans for key employees and managers based on their existing skill level and interest and organizational needs. Identify the training opportunities based on the categories and the topics developed. Recognize that employees and managers also have some responsibility for their own training and development. Evaluate each activity, establish quantifiable objectives whenever possible. Use the annual appraisal process as one checkpoint. Work with local universities, technical colleges and other sources of training to familiarize self with their offerings and to work together to help strengthen those offerings to meet in organizational needs. Recognize that management development is an ongoing process, not a one-time or annual event. Did you know that it is since 1980s that management development has been seen as a key dimension of economic success? Now in the end, let us summarize what we have learned in this lecture. Once the job description is completed, a complete list of standards and procedures should be established from each responsibility outlined in the job description. The evaluation of training program is without a doubt the most important step in the training process. Sensitivity training is about making people understand about themselves and others reasonably, which is done by developing in them social sensitivity and behavioral flexibility. Mentoring provides guidance and clear understanding of how the organization goes to achieve its visions and mission to the junior employee. Basically, management development is a term that describes any number of activities that reflect a planned effort to enhance the employee's ability in various individual and team management techniques. Management development is a term that describes any number of activities that reflect a planned effort to enhance employees' ability in various individual and team management techniques. Piece rate system is more suitable when the nature of the work is repetitive and the quantity is emphasized more than quality. Employee remuneration refers to the reward or the compensation given to the employees for their work performances.